Welcome to the Scented Path, where fragrance meets the senses and brings meaning to life's special moments. I'm Natalie, your guide on this journey through scent, self-reflection, and living beautifully. Each week, we'll explore how fragrance inspires balance, stirs memories, and elevates everyday life. Discover how each scent can transform not just your space, but your mood and your path forward. So let's walk this journey one scent at a time. This is the Scented Path. There's a smell to resistance. It's not light or airy, it's thick, heavy like smoked sandalwood hanging in the air long after the flame's gone out. Like black teas steeped too long, bitter at the edge, deep in the middle, but it lingers in the back of your throat, sharp with mint and a bay leaf, a mix that almost wakes you but somehow keeps you still. That's how resistance moves. Not clumsy. She comes dressed like preparation, dressed like responsibility. She puts on her best Sunday outfit and calls herself not ready yet. And I've worn that outfit plenty. The hem's framed from how often I put it on. Every time I swore it was because I needed just one more thing, one more read through, one more plan, one more deep breath before I began. But here's the thing, readiness was never the issue. It was fear. Fear of the mess I might make, fear of being seen halfway there, fear that maybe the thing that I've been dreaming of wouldn't feel as good once I touched it. Resistance doesn't yell at you to stop, she whispers, wait just a little longer. She makes you believe you're being wise when you're just playing small. She makes you think you're being careful when in actuality, you're just protecting yourself from success. And the scent of it is familiar now. I can clock it faster than I used to. That mix of earthy heat and herbal bite, that's not the smell of taking my time. That's the smell of stalling before someone notices. This is where the workbook has checked me more than once. That page about that has you naming your real block. It's not a cute filler. It's the mirror I didn't always want to look into. I've had to write it down, no metaphors or excuses, and see on paper that my I'm not ready was really I'm resisting. You ever fill out a page like that and feel like your own pen slow down? Like the second you start writing the truth, your mind tries to wander, or your stomach flips, or your phone suddenly needs checking. That's resistance showing up in real time. And if you don't catch her, she'll take over the whole day. I've seen her make herself at home. She'll set the table. She'll pour the tea. She'll pick a playlist that feels like momentum, but it's really just mood setting. And she'll convince you that you're moving when all you're doing is circling. And listen, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with comfort, but there is a difference between comfort that fills you and comfort that distracts you. One sends you back to the work renewed. The other keeps you comfortable enough not to notice you haven't started. That's why I've learned to follow the scent. When I smell that smoked sandalwood heaviness, when I taste the black tea sharpness catching in my throat, when the mint and bay leaf give me a little lift but not enough to move, I know what's happening. I know I'm resisting. And the thing about resistance, she's patient. She'll wait with you the whole day smiling like she's doing you a favor. But the truth is, she's robbing you of the moment you could have been in if you just started. The workbook has made that impossible to ignore. There's no hiding behind, I'll start tomorrow, when I can flip through the pages and see how many tomorrows I've already promised myself. And I don't want to keep promising myself a life I'm too scared to step into. Here's the thing about resistance. She is not her sister Sabotage. Sabotage is messy. She'll rearrange your fridge, wipe down your walls, and convince you were getting ready while your real work collects dust in the corner. Sabotage is loud enough to notice if you're paying attention. But resistance? She's refined. She dresses cleaner, speaks softer, moves like she's here to help. If sabotage brings you distraction disguised as productivity, resistance brings you productivity disguised as progress. That's a dangerous difference. She'll have you organizing your Google Drive before sending the proposal, rewriting your website copy before you've launched the thing it's meant to sell, taking the safe meetings while putting off the ones that actually could change your life. She looks the part, smells the part too. That smoked sandalwood heat stays steady, grounded. The black tea wraps around it like discipline in liquid form, strong and serious. And then there's that crushed mint and bay leaf, fresh enough to make you believe you're in motion when, again, you're standing still. This is where the workbook calls her out better than I can in a moment. On those pages that talk about actions that actually move the needle, resistance, she hates that. Because once you have to list the three things that truly matter this week, her little smoke and tea act gets exposed. There's no, I'll just perfect this first. When the page is looking you in your eye asking, does this get me closer or just makes me feel prepared? And let me tell you, she hates accountability. She thrives in the spaces you don't track. She wants to live in your mental list, that floating to do pile that feels endless but never quite lands anywhere real. When I'm honest with myself, resistance feels safer than sabotage ever did. Sabotage at least shows her chaos. You can see when she's wasting your time, but resistance? She can keep you busy for months without you realizing you haven't crossed the real line yet, and that's a pity. She's not trying to pull you completely off the path, but she is trying to keep you just close enough to the path that you feel like you're walking. And that's worse in some ways because you can waste a whole season, several seasons, thinking you're almost there. In the workbook, there's that reflection page, the one that asks you to note what you've been circling. That page is where resistance hates to be caught because she's the queen of circles. She'll polish them, decorate them, and call it building a foundation. But a circle, no matter how pretty, never gets you further down the road. And once you smell it, once that herbal sharpness catches in your throat and you feel that familiar weight in the air, you know you are not getting ready. You are resisting the moment you've been praying for. Resistance doesn't just keep you from starting, she keeps you safe from being seen. Not because she cares about your peace, that's her selling point. It's because she knows the moment you step into the thing you've been circling, you can't hide behind potential anymore. You'll be out there, visible, measured by what you did, not what you could do. She thrives in the space between dreaming and doing because in that gap, you're perfect, you're untouched. No mistakes have been made yet, no receipts to call you out. And that's the quiet payoff. You get to protect your image of yourself. You get to say, I'm capable, without ever having to prove it under real pressure. This is where she's different from her sister Sabotage. Sabotage is messy. She throws distraction in your lap and dares you to chase them. Resistance? She'll have you thinking she's your best project manager. She knows your tea order, your best lighting, and your just right timing. She's the one telling you that the first page of your workbook has to be perfect before you can fill out the rest. This is the truth that you can't sidestep. Flawless in your head means nothing if it never leaves your hands. And your workbook, the one you swore you used to track this season, can call you out better than I can. Flip through it. See how many blank spaces are dressed up in good intentions. See how many prepped weeks were actually just resistance running the show. She doesn't want you to look at that because the moment you do, the story moves drastically. You stop being someone with plans and start being someone with patterns. And patterns you can break, but only if you name her. There's a point where even resistance runs out of new lines, where her polished reasons start sounding like reruns, where the scent in the room, smoke sandalwood, sharp mint, that green bite of bay leaf, just smells stale because it's been sitting too long. That's the moment you have to move. Not because you feel ready, not because the stars lined up, but because the alternative is living another round of the same almost start. The truth? Resistance doesn't disappear. She'll be there tomorrow, dressed up in a new excuse. The only thing that changes is whether you choose her voice or your own. And here's where your workbook stops being cute and starts being proof. Every blank page, that's her territory. Every day you skipped, that's her victory lap. But every messy, half scribbled entry, that's yours. That's you moving. So you open it today. You write one thing you did that pushes the needle. You stop waiting for the right week to start a new page. You claim this one, this day, this line. Resistance hates that because once you have proof in your own handwriting, she can't tell you you've done nothing, and proof is contagious. You stack one messy win on another, and before she can catch up, build momentum she can't break. So here's the call. Open the workbook, mark the page, make it real. Not in theory, not in your head, in ink. That's how you keep her from owning the season. You don't wait her out, you write her out. Thanks for joining me on the scented path. Remember, finding balance is a luxury we all deserve, and each breath is a chance to embrace harmony and grace. Until next time, breathe easy, live beautifully, and let every moment reflect your truest self. This is The Scented Path, where luxury meets balance.